I sold this boat new in 2012, and our family, which is the three brothers and me, so 4 boys plus our respective families, owned one of these too. And I've just sold it on brokerage. So I do know quite a bit about Targa 50s, and I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's go and have a look. Okay, before we go inside, I just want to tell you a couple of bits about the outside. This is in royal blue gel coat, which I think looks quite good, although it's not as popular these days. And in 2012, to have these big midship windows, squared off windows, was really good. I'm not going to go too much further because I'm going to fall in the drink, but you've got loads more windows there and lots of glass here. So in 2012, this was the latest and greatest. And do you know what's funny? Even in 2021, this boat still looks really, really nice. So let's go on board and I'll do a proper tour. So Fairline decided to do things differently with this boat, so they came up with a tender launch. So these fold over. God, bloody hell. I need some WD-40, but they fold over and do that, and there, and that holds your dinghy, and this little square here goes down in the water. But the good thing is, excuse me, this system means that Fairline could make the hull go right to the back of the boat. So if you just go around there and just look, see the hull goes right to there. There's no bathing platform overhang. And you might say, well, why is that important? Well, the more hull you have, the more lift you get. So Fairline didn't want to compromise the handling characteristics of this boat, so they made it a longer hull and made the tender launch come out, the high-low platform come out of the boat. It means the boat drives really, really well. And I drove one of these boats in a storm in the south of France, and excuse me, but I felt sick, admittedly. I broke the toilet seat, a ceiling panel came down, but do you know what? Me and my family, and the kids were pretty young then, we got through the storm the other side, and the boat was fantastic. It absolutely slaughtered all the waves. It was really, really good. So I sold this boat new in 2012 to a lovely couple, and I remember them coming to the Southampton boat show, and they said to me, James, we love the boat, we'd love to buy it, but we can't buy it till we've sold our house. So I said, I can't believe I said this, but I did actually say this. I said, don't worry, I'll take your house in part exchange. So I did. So they said, will you really? And I said, yeah, I will. So I went to look at their house. It was really nice. I took it in part exchange and I gave them the boat. And a few months later, I sold the house. Anyway, unusually, they've owned this boat all that time, since 2012. And that is really unusual. And she's only done 165 hours. What's also interesting about this boat is that we tweeted a picture a few weeks ago when she was coming back from abroad, and we sold it on the tweet. So if any of you people are listening and you want to sell your boat, let me know what it is. Send us an email to sales@boats.co.uk, and sometimes I can sell boats within just a few days. This video is not about that, it's about the Targa 50, but just bear that in mind if you've got a good quality boat that you want to sell. So let's talk about the saloon. So what I like about this boat is it's got a nice big open saloon, and the galley is up here, which some people don't like because you see all the mess from the cooking. I like it because you can serve food straight from the saloon straight into the cockpit behind you. Now this boat is built so well. It's got twin D11 670s, which I'll show you, on shaft drive. No V boxes, so the engines are nice and low, and the boat is beautifully balanced. But in here, God, they're noisy, aren't they? I am filming over here, son. But in here, you've got everything you want. So you've got a fridge here. Let's open it up, look. Now, a lot of them had drawer fridges, but this one's got a normal fridge. You've got a microwave oven, which no one uses. You've also got a dishwasher, which I used to fill up with food, to be honest, on my one. You know, not for me, for the kids. And you've got various cupboards here. I'm not going to open all these cupboards. There's a cutlery drawer here, and that all works quite well. And you've got the sink. There's an ice maker in there. As you know, I don't like ice makers. They're a waste of money. This was quite good. This is where you put your plates and crockery. But one thing I found when I owned one of these, and we owned one of these for 4 years, is if you don't get that cup absolutely straight, can you see the tolerance there? Look at the tolerance, look. So I would do the washing up sometimes, and I'd put the cup back in like that, and look, see it hits, and then you, oh, I know it's only minor, but make sure your cups are flat, and then look, it just shuts. But that works quite well. You've got a high-low TV here. You've got all the sound system and what have you here. You've got some really small drawers here, which aren't much use. And you've got a really useful cupboard. Oh, drawer. Look how useful that, sorry, useless cupboard. Here, look how thin that is. But, because it looks so big, look how big it looks. And look how thin it is, look. That's because it's got engineering under there. But, it's a really solid boat. We've got twin shout windows. And they're manual, and because they're manual, they don't go wrong. And there's another one over here. And now I'm going to explain to you about the dashboard. Right. So we have got electric sunroof. I'm not going to demonstrate that. And you've got, this pops up and down. Look, this, see? And you press a button somewhere, and it pops up. I won't do it. It pops back up. Got the engine controls here. All the electrics are here. Now, on the Princesses, you get lots of little switches. These are kind of trendier switches, and actually they're quite good, and they don't go wrong. You've got one plotter there, and you could have a second option of another plotter there. Our one had the 2 plotters, and I quite liked that. So you can have another one, but that's okay. Bound stern thruster. Now, this boat is so controllable. I'm not going to drive it today, but it's so controllable, you don't really need a stern thruster, but this one has got it. VHF, nice there. And I used to love, can you come around here and see this? See this air condition vent? I used to love this, because when I was hot in the Med, I could direct this at my face. And there's the air condition controller. Generator start and all your other normal switches and what have you. And we've got the shout window. Now, we're at Essex Marina today, so we could, I don't think there's, oh, there is some people on that boat there, look. So if I shout out the window, they might, well, they might say something. Oi, get the fenders in! They're looking like I'm a bit mad. Anyway, that works really, really well. So, really nice helm. And also, when my kids were younger, they could sit next to me here and, you know, and help me drive the boat. And look at the visibility. I know we're parked up looking at our office and some mud, but you can imagine if you're in the Med or somewhere really pretty, the visibility is great. And when you stand up with the roof open, you should open the roof. Let's open the roof. It's deflating a seal, hopefully. Come on, come on. It's doing it. Here we go. You have to be patient in the boat world. I'm going to show you when the roof is open, you can stand up and the visibility is fantastic. God, it's bright. What a lovely day. Right, that'll do. But look, if I stand up, look. If you stand up here with me, look at where I'm looking. You can really see quite well. And if you look behind me, when I'm parking or berthing, you've got loads of room behind to park as well. That's an air conditioner up there. See the air conditioner? Really nice detailing up there. There's some speakers. A really nice sociable boat. I'll also show you at the back. At the back there, by that table, is a crew cabin. It's not a great crew cabin, but there is a crew cabin. So I've just shut the roof, and when you finish shutting it, inflates like an airbag around it to stop it leaking, which is quite good. Now, if you bear in mind, this is a 10-year-old boat, that roof still works and the seal still works. And the reason it still works is because when Fairline built this, and I know because I was selling them new and I had one, the mechanism carriage that carries this roof is made by Lola Engineering. And Lola Engineering make Formula One cars. I bet you didn't know that, but you do now. So if we go downstairs, this is a 3-cabin boat, and normally you would expect me to be walking aft to show you the master, but Fairline did it the other way around. They put the master at the bow. And look at the size of the master. The master is huge, and the reason they put it at the bow is because look, you've got a flat floor and a flat ceiling. Now, to get a boat with a master cabin this size, normally you would have to go to 55 feet. So to pack this in a 50-footer is really good. When I was selling them new, it was difficult to persuade people that they didn't need the mid-master and they needed the forward master. But once we did persuade them, they loved it. And come in here, look at some of the details. If you go over there, you'll get an idea of some of the space. Look at all this space. Look at all this space here, look. Look at this lovely door. Look, is it like Chinese, Japanese, kind of super trendy contemporary? There's a big wardrobe here, look. And this is where I used to put all my socks and pants. But today I've got boring socks on, you see. I forgot to put some lively socks on. But I loved this cabin. And also, these are all the cupboards, loads of cupboards. But also, see this area here? When I had young children, I actually put a travel cot there. So our youngest, Georgia, at the time, she's 15 now, but then she was, I don't know, 2 or younger. She was in a cot there, or maybe one of the other ones were, but there was a cot there. And you could still get around the room. And Mrs. B had her dressing table with little drawers, and a little top, and loads of more storage. So actually, it's a really good cabin. Can you see the skylight as well? Look at the skylight. Anyway, the bathroom. Again, it's really big. I haven't got a towel to floss with today, but I don't need to because look, I can put all my arms out and it's massive. Look, and I can get in the shower. Look, it's big. And do you know what? For a 10-year-old boat, it's not bad. You've got all big cupboards here for all your makeup and my deodorant. And we've got a cupboard here for toilet rolls and things. So it's all really nice. To be fair, I prefer the Princess sinks because look at this sink here. It's just not as nice as the Princess one. And the toilet, you lift up this seat here and you sit here. And look how much room I've got. I can read a newspaper, all sorts. Big windows too. Look at the windows. With a little opener. You must shut that opener before you go to sea. Otherwise you make a mess. But I wouldn't have done that. Right, let's go look at the other cabins. Okay, so we're back in the foyer under the windscreen. Have a look up there, Jake, look, so they can see where we're at. And I'm now going aft, or to the back of the boat. Pardon me. God, that lunch is repeating. The bathroom's here. This is the day head. And you've got a lovely shower, toilet. You can have a little peek at that while I go back down here. And at the back, we've got 2 twin cabins. We're going to do this one first. And you've got loads of glass. These, do they move? I think one of them moves. No, they don't. I think you put an infill in and then it makes it into a double. Little TV, loads of cupboard space, big wardrobe. And this cabin here is, on the starboard side, is pretty much identical. So stick your head in there and I'm going to get out the washing machine. If you actually go through there, and then film this way because I want to show you a couple of things. So I'm back out in the kind of atrium area, and look what is in here. It's got a washing machine made by Zanussi, and it still works. And we've got a washing powder cupboard. And are you ready for this? This long thin door is full of trip switches. Look at that. All the way up there, all the way down there. So if something doesn't work, come to this cupboard and start clicking some of these. It works brilliantly. And what's funny, when these were built at the factory, before the tops of the boat had been put on, this used to stick out of the bottom of the moulding with all the electronics from an early point of the build, which always used to make me laugh because look how tall it is. Look, I'm 6'1". Look, it's made much taller than me. It's probably 8'1". Okay, so let's go and see the engine bay and the crew cabin. Crew cabin's under there. We'll do that in a minute. This is the engine bay, and I'm going to lift it up. Now, before I lift it up, the generator's on. We've got the air conditioning on because we're just testing it. By the way, this table goes down and makes this into a big sunbed. So I told you it's got Volvo D11 670s, and here they are. And actually, it's quite clean down here. If you pass me the camera. So here they are. D11 670s. They're the water strainers there. They're the fuel filters. And they've got the fuel stopcocks there. That's a fuel tank there. And that's a fuel tank there. There's one of the exhausts. There's a turbo. There's the generator. That's the charger. And these are all some more trip switches. Can you see those? That's an exhaust over there. But look how clean it is. And then down here, let's see if I can see it. Oh, you can see it here. There's the shaft there. See it there? There's the gearbox and the shaft. And that's what makes the boat handle really, really well. This boat will do about 32 knots, and it will handle any sea. Also, this ladder here clips on the back as a bathing ladder, so it's dual purpose. Quick story, I put my bathing ladder on the back of my one and I forgot about it and I drove off. So my one never actually, because I bent it so bad, I could never actually put it back on here. But because this owner has looked after this boat impeccably, it still fits, and that's a good thing. So let me show you the crew. Okay, so this is the crew cabin, and it doesn't look like there's a crew cabin here, does it? But if you lift this handle, actually you got to move this cushion first. Lift this handle, and there is the crew cabin. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to demonstrate it. Because the last time I demonstrated the crew cabin, oh, that's the winch. Don't stand on the winch. See, look. I should have a button over that. That pulls the ropes in. God, it's bright. That pulls the ropes in when you're berthing. Anyway, let's look at the crew. This is tiny. Oh, noisy, isn't it? Right, okay. Right. So in here is the crew cabin. You've got a toilet here. You've got a bed here. This is not good. You've got a sink here, which is like a joke one. And you've got a blind here, which actually has got a window at the back. I mean, can you hear that noise? That's a generator. And if you're on an anchor, I think that's for your towel. That's your sockets. That's your window. Do you know what I would do? I would use this as just a place to store your food and drink, because You don't want to be sending anyone down here. It's not a good crew cabin. Right. Bloody hell. Right. So we're going to do the summary up at the bow. Lovely badge. This is the shout window. Hello! It's quite windy up here. Hopefully it doesn't... Oh, you got some storage here. Let me show you the storage. Oh, God. Okay. Okay. Need some WD-40. I think it's too windy up here. Let's go back. Let's go back. All right, let's go back. Oh, look at that little 50. It's a nice little detail. See, it says 50. I thought it was quite nice. It's too windy up here. We'll do a summary at the back. Right. Okay. Inside. Right. This is the chaise lounge. We're going to summarise this boat and all the situations I've had. So in summary, the Targa 50 is a twin 670 horsepower shaft drive 3-cabin boat with an electric hardtop, aft galley, crew cabin, mini high-low platform, British built quality cruiser, and it's a cracker. As I said to you earlier, our family owned one for 3 or 4 years. We had some great times in the south of France and Mallorca, blasting around in this boat. I sold this one new in 2012, and for the first time in 9 years, she's come on the market, and we've sold her in 1 week, and she fetched between 400 and 450,000, which I think is a fair price for a boat of this age. So if you've got similar boats, I'll help you sell them. If you want one of these, talk to me. If you see one of these, buy it. It is a great British sports cruiser, and it's a proper built boat. Oh, one last thing I didn't mention. The hull on this boat is hand laid fiberglass. It's one of the last Fairlines where they actually laid the GRP in the mould, and I love that. This owner has looked after this boat impeccably. It still fits, and that's a good thing. So let me show you the crew. Fuck!